Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I talk about anything that has happened in the last week or so that has caught our attention, and we just felt the need to talk about it today. And guys, we got some stuff to talk about. Some good stuff,
Oh yeah.
some not so great stuff. But some
Yes.
updates to previous stories, and we're going to be previewing some trailers, talking about rumors, and we're going to also be responding to super chats at the end of the day's episode. Now, we do stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And Bakusan JRPG, how are you doing this week?
Oh my God. I spent a lot of money this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
I got my mother a new car. So that was a lot of spending.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought myself a new phone, which is a Pixel 7 Pro. So
Oh.
super happy about this. Because my previous phone has like a cracked camera. You can't even see it
Oh,
really.
there
But
we go. Yeah.
look at how cracked that is. So
Ah.
I've had to deal with that for about like a month or so. I cracked it right before, but that phone is like maybe like 5 years old. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't chase technology. I get it when I actually have to.
Mm-hmm.
That thing takes like 20 seconds to load up an app, and I'm like, okay, I think it's time. Like you
Yeah.
press a button and then you just sit there and just wait
This is
for it
this
to
is what
load.
my OnePlus phone looks like right now. It's got a big
Ooh,
old crack on the back, unfortunately, because
still
oh,
pretty.
I generally try not to use my I prefer not to put it in a case like this, because I feel like, when I have my phone just
Like
outside of a case,
this.
it feels like I'm holding the future, right? I feel like I'm holding like a really nice piece of
I
technology. And then the second you put it
know.
in a case, it's like, oh, this feels like a brick. This feels like something plastic.
I know.
It feels no good. But then, so I actually went like 2 years, no case, just pocket in phone. It
Okay.
was fine for the longest time. And then something happened. I put it in my pocket and I sat down in a lawn chair, and it
Ah.
fell out of my pocket onto the
Ah.
concrete,
Oh
right on a
no.
corner, and
Oh
just
no.
shattered a little bit like that. Oh,
Oh no.
and it sucks
Oh
because
no.
that exact thing happened to me like 7 years ago with another phone, and I was like, I was
You
surprised it did
haven't
so good,
learned.
because it's because I was so I don't know. I just got
Mhm.
cocky, I guess. Just it only takes once,
It's been 7 years.
right?
Ah.
I know. And I had it for like 2 years, and it was fine, and then it wasn't one day. Anyways,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. So you spent a lot of money on, was that on the phone? Was that what you spent all your money on? Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
the car cost a lot of money.
Oh,
But yeah, it was a necessity. She needed a car. And so we have a tradition of not buying used cars. Because we've had some pretty bad history with getting used cars. Like they just fail. Like
yeah.
no matter how careful we are, we buy used cars and they just like die.
Oh,
So yeah, so we just don't buy used cars, and so I had to get her a brand new car.
wow. Well, that's
um, yeah, but
that definitely
it was
hurts.
yeah, but it was also out of necessity. It's not like I want a new car and you're gonna get it for me. It's
Yeah.
like no, like I owe my mother a new car because she's gotten me a new car when I was a kid, and
Eh,
now that I'm making the dough, I'm like, all right, well now I'm buying you a new car. It's reciprocation.
that is awesome
It's
that you're in
fair.
a position where
Yeah.
you're able to do that.
Yeah.
That is really great. So what have you been
Yeah.
up to this week?
But we had to drive 2 hours away
Oh
to
no.
get like the best deal. Because I don't know if you've seen the car market lately, but it's crazy. Like
I've
all the
tried not
dealers,
looking because it just looks horrendous.
it's bad. All the dealers are definitely just, piling on the extra on top of
Mm-hmm.
the MSRP because everyone's buying cars, right?
Yeah.
And let's rephrase that. Not that everybody's buying cars, but the amount of cars coming in right now because of chip shortage and labor shortage that just sort of like ripple through
Mm-hmm.
like um
Yeah, and then
relative to the amount of people buying cars
I feel
is
like that's a big
yeah.
part of it. I also feel like this is also an opportunity that a lot of people have seen to just jack up prices anyway.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's all the dealers that's
yeah,
jacking up prices,
exactly.
you know?
That's exactly what it is. So it's probably a little bit of chip shortage, a little bit of that, a little bit of
Yeah.
everything. But then I think a lot of it is also just highway robbery on top of it all.
God.
Just good old capitalism.
Well, the place that I went to is like
Mhm.
a small town, right? But big enough to have a dealership, but they don't put anything on top of the MSRP. I mean, well, they put
Okay.
something, like maybe
Uh-huh.
like $100,
Like,
$200, like nothing crazy. So because I look at the MSRP from the manufacturer website and I
mhm.
ask them for a quote and I compare, I'm like, out the door, how
Yeah.
much are you gonna sell this to me? And I compare it and I'm
How do you
like,
get
okay,
figures
these
from other people?
guys.
Because I hear with used cars in general, like,
Mhm.
or just cars in general, rather, is that
Mhm.
it's like, oh, we'll talk about it. Why don't you come on down and try out a test drive? And they don't want to give you the number.
I think they're used to it because their sell point is you have to make a long drive, but we guarantee you that we're not going to add prices. So
Hmm.
they know they have a price advantage against basically anyone. So they're
Okay.
not afraid to tell you how much you'll walk away from.
Yeah.
Other than all the, of course, they didn't add in all the extra warranties, yada yada, of
You
which
didn't get
we've
the extra
rejected.
warranty, did you?
Oh, of course not.
Okay.
Come
Okay.
on, weren't born yesterday.
Good.
Yeah, we literally got the base car and the basic like free warranty.
Hmm.
That's it, right?
Good.
And
Good.
and
Good.
it was still we saved about $2,500 to almost $3,000, like
Yeah.
something to that effect. But it took 2 hours driving up and another hour driving down because of traffic. So it was crazy,
Yeah.
but it was worth it.
Oh,
How
well,
about you,
good.
man? What have you been up to?
My week has been pretty okay. Like it was actually pretty hectic. Ended up not getting to stream as often as I wanted to, unfortunately. I did put out a video though on Friday in which I did a nice little unboxing of a press kit that was sent to me by NISA, as well
Ooh.
as unboxing the limited edition of Trails from Zero. And NISA also sent me an extra copy of that for Switch that I'm actually giving away. So
Oh,
to find out how to get your hands on a copy of the limited edition for Switch, go check out that video. Because yeah, I think odds are pretty decent right now, all things considered. Like only a few hundred people have attempted, so it's like,
oh wow.
yeah, we'll see what happens. So check it out. But I did mention in that video that the winner of that would be announced in my next video. Just a heads up, this is not that video. I'm talking about like a produced video, not on my podcast. Sorry,
Hmm.
guys. If you're here
Yeah,
for that,
sorry.
I hope you enjoy your sticking around and enjoy watching. But this is not that. And I just want to get that out of the way
Hmm.
real quick. So, but otherwise, yeah, it was a pretty good week.
Yeah, awesome.
Got my flu shot the other day
Oh,
because
I need to do that.
yeah, she got me right in the muscle. She got it right in the thick of the muscle of my arm, and it still hurts even though it's been a couple of days.
You
Amy,
know,
she
I
got it. She didn't even bleed, and she's just like, I don't know, that didn't even hurt.
you know
It's
that's
like
crazy.
50-50, right?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like I've gotten shots where I'm like I don't feel anything,
Hmm.
and then the same shots will get me like the next year. I'm
Yeah,
like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, it's
come on.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I get you, but I hope you're feeling better.
Hmm.
I mean, I know you're not actually sick, but the symptoms persist, so
Oh
hopefully
no,
that's not
actually, I
bothering
don't
you.
even get any like of that.
Oh, you didn't get any symptoms.
Nothing. Yeah,
Oh, it just hurts. Oh, you know what? That's just whoever gives you the shot.
yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah.
it is. And
Yeah.
we got it done at a Walgreens. I'm not like expecting much. I'm just hoping that like I got the flu once a few years ago when we were still in Seattle, and it
Mhm.
just knocked me on my butt for like 2 weeks. And then it was
Mhm.
like when I went to the doctor, I was like, this cannot be normal. Being sick for 2 weeks, feeling like this cannot be normal. And they're like,
Right.
yeah, it looks like you got influenza. You didn't get a shot this year, did you? No.
Oh
No, I didn't.
no.
Oh, that's too bad because that's the one we were immunizing people for this year.
Oh no.
Ah,
The one
I
time
know, I
that
know.
would have totally helped, it
So,
didn't
I mean,
help.
the one time that I know of that it would have helped. I mean, I'm sure I've
Mhm.
had the flu shot other years and it maybe did help, but anyways, I went ahead and got it this year because it's may as well. I hate getting sick, so I hate being sick a lot more than I hate shots. So yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oof, man, because you can't die. Well, okay, other than allergic reaction, you're not dying from like the vaccine shot, right? But
yeah. But people do
uh,
die from the flu. It
you
is.
can actually die from the flu.
Yeah, I know. Ugh,
Yeah,
that'd be the worst to get sick to death. Ugh,
yeah, absolutely worth getting
yeah.
if it's available to you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Baku, I haven't really picked out a headline again, and I think it's about tradition at this point. But what would you say is the top headline of this week?
Geez. Okay. So personally, we covered the tragic passing of the Yu-Gi-Oh creator Katsuki Takahashi.
And we, hmm
Yeah, we did. That was back in July.
yeah,
Now we've got some crazy updates, and I can't wait to share them with all of you.
yeah,
I had
it's
to. Yeah.
actually jaw dropping. Yeah,
It's like, okay, I see why they're still investigating. But we'll talk more about that. But that is absolutely like just the craziest thing I heard over the weekend.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Completely,
Hmm.
completely shocked. But
Yeah.
before we dive into that, let's go ahead and respond to some of the comments that we got from last week's podcast.
Yes.
Starting with this one from Juan Castillo, who says, "Hey, Derek and Baku, speaking of your last story limited edition and polished triangle strategy limited edition, I think a great video series would be doing an unboxing and re-unboxing of cool limited editions and collector's editions of newer and older games of note. Games that I really liked or thought that was really cool, limited editions, collector's editions. Talk about the game and show some of the limited edition goodies." And the
That would
reason
be
I picked
cool.
this one out is because that is exactly what I did on Friday's video. And I had that's the whole idea behind the item shop series of videos that I've been working on.
Mhm.
Problem is they do not do very well as far as like drawing in people. I think it would be super cool to like open up some of the especially older stuff like my Lunar 1 and 2 boxed copies that have like all the feelies and stuff, the cloth
Right.
maps, and I would I would really like to do more like that, but like it just does not. They sadly don't do well. I honestly I was at best I'm hoping that this video that I put out on Friday will at least cover the cost of shipping the limited edition to somebody. I don't think it's going to. I think that's I'm shipping that out of my own pocket. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's all right. I hope that that more people find that kind of stuff as interesting as I do, but we'll see what happens eventually.
The cost of doing business.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got a message from Messa Jake, who says, "Love the show, guys. Been a staple listening each week with my girls, age 4 and 8, while we play some fun video games at the same time. Sometimes new games. Splatoon 3 is quite fun, or vintage gaming with them. Wait, what's LTTP again?
Link to the Past.
Oh, Link to the Past. I was like, okay. Link to the Past, Super Mario World, etc. Have all been recent choices. Just want to say we appreciate the info and the positivity and overall good vibes from you both. Keep up the good work." Yeah, okay. So I had to pick this because this came last week when I slipped up and dropped the F-bomb, and then the next day. So my habit is the next morning I'll read comments from the previous day. So Monday morning when I'm working, I'll like go through some comments at lunchtime or something. And I saw that. It's a staple listening each week with my girls, age 4 and 8. And I'm like, that's so sweet. I'm like, that's nice. And I'm like, oh wait.
No,
So I
no.
immediately typed a response. I'm like, hey, listen, I hope you are able to skip through the merch section because just
That's okay.
FYI,
It's okay, Baku. Most people skip through the merch section.
it was pretty bad. So I was I was like, I messaged Derek. I'm like, oh no, like this is reaffirm
Yeah.
my just remembering of not keeping my party
Yeah.
mouth shut
Just
while we're on YouTube.
gonna make a point of doing better, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna do better for all the kids who are watching right now. Yes.
Man. All right.
All right.
We
Yeah.
got one other here from the Game Chumps who says, Star Ocean is one of my absolute favorite JRPG series. I love the setting of partial sci-fi and high fantasy. I wish it performed better and they hadn't gone downhill since 3, but I have high hopes for the new game coming out this month. Hopefully, it does well enough that the company that's made successful RPGs lately to purchase Tri-Ace or try to merge so we can have a future with more Star Ocean.
Mm,
That would be nice.
that would be nice. Yeah, no, I think Star Ocean, I mean, say what you want about the implementation, but at least the um sort of the setting is just so one of its kind,
Mhm.
that I really don't want to see it go. I mean, I guess there's I mean there are maybe like one or two other games I can think of that
Yeah.
would have these like high fantasy and sci-fi.
Mhm.
It's not even partial sci-fi. It's absolutely sci-fi,
Yeah.
right?
High
You got
fantasy and high sci-fi.
Yeah, which is like what? Like, how do you manage to do that? Well, I mean, they found a way to explain how that works. Like,
Mhm.
like how all the magic is really just like a study of science, and but there are still things that to uncover, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
It is super
Um,
cool. I do hope that we'll see more. Like that's one of the reasons that I wanted to encourage people to consider pre-ordering. Like I don't think whatever happens for this game, I don't think
mhm,
that whatever their immediate situation is going to probably change the long-term direction as far as the ownership of this company. Like I'm guessing that the people who made this game, I mean, the own Tri Ace right now, they specialize in mobile games, like you said, right, Baku?
yeah,
So they probably have noted that the mobile games that they're making aren't doing super hot. So maybe
yeah.
they'll want to move this over to somebody else anyway.
Square
Hopefully,
Enix.
hopefully that could be Square Enix.
Square Enix.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
Square Enix. That would be really awesome. Or could you
yeah.
imagine if Bamco bought it?
Hmm.
Wouldn't that be
I
interesting? The people behind
Ooh.
Tails
Yeah.
reunited with the people behind Star Ocean. Wouldn't that just be
I
under
think
under a
I
similar roof? Wouldn't that be
I think
interesting?
hell would freeze over before Square Enix lets that happen.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be like
Do you think there would be a bidding war over that? Some sort of oh, that could be interesting. I don't know.
that could be interesting. Yeah. I
I
mean, listen, Square Enix got the money. They sold off multiple studios to do NFT stuff. Oh, they could just like buy out Tri-Ace. I don't know.
That would be nice too. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like well, okay, here's the thing. So when Square Enix sold those other companies and implicitly states that they're going to work on NFT,
Mhm.
there's one other thing that they said that we don't talk a lot about, and that is because we haven't seen a lot of action in that front, and that is they want to consolidate their like Japanese gaming profile.
Yeah.
Right, that was one of the reason that they're thrown out, and that was the reason why they're selling a lot of the
That's
like
one of the
overseas
things I said.
studios.
That's one of the things I
Right.
said. Like they want to kind of
Yeah.
reunify they are the JRPG company again,
Yeah,
right?
they
That's
did say that. They did say that.
Mhm.
And which puts because they didn't sell all the Western studio. There are still studios that they own that they have so which puts that, in kind of hot
Suspect.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just yeah. But that could also potentially mean that they might buy other Japanese studios to make
Mhm.
other IPs, since Square Enix has demonstrated that hey, actually maybe we don't want to put all the money on Final Fantasy, right? Like it's worked out with some games like Octopath Traveler
Mhm.
and Bravely Default. And maybe not to a lesser extent with let's say Diofield, which by the way, all the people who played the game actually gave like pretty good
Yeah, high
reviews
praise
on.
for
Yeah,
sure.
so yeah, definitely to a lesser degree on some of these other games. man, I can talk about their release schedule all day, but I'm
Hmm.
gonna refrain from going down that path because
Yeah.
I think they're just not doing
You
these
know,
games
if I
a
was Square
favor.
Enix and I saw Bamco eating their lunch with that Tales of series, that franchise
Hmm.
that's just immensely popular, and I
Yeah.
saw Star Ocean up for
Hmm.
sale, I'd be like, "Yo, let's
Well,
work something out.
well,
Let's."
Square Enix owns the Star Ocean IP.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Oh,
own the IP. Yeah.
okay. So how does that work? They own the IP, but oh, they just haven't been hiring it out to try Ace to
Yeah, they just
do
subcontract
more.
out to Tri-Ace to make these games, and they've always
Okay.
done it, so it's
Yeah. Okay.
associated to Tri-Ace. But
Yeah.
just like how Valkyrie Profile was
Okay.
also Tri-Ace, this time Valkyrie Elysium they contract out to somebody else to
Okay,
do it.
okay,
Yeah,
that's making more sense to me now because I
yeah.
remember, like, for instance, Enix wasn't like the creator of like the Dragon Quest series. Like they owned the IP, but they would license it out to,
Hmm.
first it was uh God, Furyu. Yeah, Furyu
Hmm.
actually made the first four, and then no, not Furyu. Was it Furyu? It was God, who was it? Not Furyu.
I have no idea.
It's some it's a
It
weird
was so
name.
long ago.
They did the first four or five games.
Mhm.
God, and now I'm having a really hard time remembering the name. But anyways, but then later on they hired it out to like level 5 when they did Dragon Quest 8. So it's kind of like that sort of situation, I guess. But we've just associated Trace with it for so long that it kind of feels like it's their baby, because it kind
Yeah.
of is, because it's made of
It is their baby.
yeah,
It's just, they only have visiting rights.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Anyways.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, shoot. Yeah. Okay. Now it's really Chunsoft. Chunsoft made the first 4 or 5
Oh,
Dragon Quest games.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Chunsoft?
Chunsoft, not Furyu. It's Chunsoft.
Oh.
I knew there was a U in there somewhere.
Like Spike Chunsoft?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and then they merged, right? Okay.
Yeah. Isn't
That's
that crazy?
crazy. Yeah, wow. Yeah, Spike Chunsoft's doing great on their own, but, it's just wow.
Well, I mean, they did the first 4 Dragon Quest games. They did amazing from the start.
Yeah. Now,
But
now they're working. Now they have the whole Danganronpa series, and
yeah.
they're not touchable in that
Yeah,
space.
isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we need to move on a little bit here. We have one more thing here. We're going to
Mhm.
respond to a voicemail that we actually got as well. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, let me actually let me
Yes, let's go.
remember. I need to remember to change the thing here. So there's the voicemail number you can reach us at if you want to leave us a voicemail to respond to. And here's this week's.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Josh from California. I remember a couple of episodes we were talking about, well, I guess you guys were talking about, sort of innovative ways to beef up the standard JRPG turn-based combat. So that had me thinking, are there any games where you really like the battle mechanics and you want to apply them to another game that you think is lacking? For example, I really like the combo input of a game like Legend of Legaia, and I think something like that might have done wonders for a game like Okage Shadow King, which is very lacking and very basic turn-based
Mhm.
combat. So yeah, interested to hear what you guys are thinking. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Josh from California. All
Super
right.
awesome question. I have very few ideas though off the top of my head.
You want to add some rhythm game? We talked
We
about it,
did
right? You want
mention,
to add some
yeah.
rhythm game too?
I want to.
Yeah.
I like the turn-based mechanics that have rhythm-based stuff in it. I like the
Mhm.
idea of turn-based games where in the turn that you take, it switches to like a action RPG style. And I'm
Mhm.
not sure if that's sort of like what they're talking about here, with the Legaia games or not. But that's one of the things that I immediately thought of was like incorporating some sort of action RPG element into a turn-based combat. For
Mhm.
like a melee fighter, but then maybe a combo based system for like a spellcaster or something, where like it would
Mm.
the kind of interaction that you have with during the turn depends on the person that you're doing, or the item that you're using, or the spell that you're casting. Something that's sort of reactive in a way. would be pretty cool, I think.
That's really cool.
Because I feel like the action RPG feels a little more visceral, so it'd be better for like a melee. But well, I feel like it would be much more of like a cerebral thing to cast a spell or something, right? So it's like you
Mhm.
engage two different parts of your mental brain.
That's really cool. Yeah, I have not seen like a kind of like a hybrid between played that way.
Mhm.
Like Final Fantasy VII remake tries to do like a kind of hybrid command thing that to various degree of success. I mean, I liked it just fine. A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah.
But that's for a different day. But in terms of what you're saying, it's like, oh yeah, well you can have commands here, but then when you do melee attack, it turns into action. I have not seen
I
anything like that. No,
I know.
I'm trying to think about it. It's like I don't
It
think I've
is
seen that before.
one of my many like little pet project ideas for my game back when I was in video game design a long time ago.
Oh,
This is
look at that.
I know, I'm
We
just
do have game devs that watch the show.
yeah,
Yes.
but they went into game devs to make their own games that they've got pet project ideas. They
No,
don't
they're
want they
gonna
don't need ideas. They got plenty. They got
No, they're
ideas for
totally.
days.
No, there's one game dev right now who had all the idea, the storyboard, everything. They just didn't know what to do with the battle system, and boom, there you go. It was
There
the
you go.
only thing that they weren't sure what they wanted to do.
All right. Well, that one's
Um,
for free.
That's a freebie. Just remember to credit Mr.
No.
Derek. Right?
No.
Just like inspired by.
No, just make it.
anyhow.
Just make it.
Just make the game.
Yeah, I just want to play it. That's all.
I think the game that I really like as far as like turn based is concerned is 10-2, Final Fantasy 10-2.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I really like the battle system there. I don't know what it is about it, but it just felt like okay, this
Mhm.
is ATB done right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately everything else about that game was like not likable for me. But yeah, just like everything else about that game was just like ugh.
The setting
But
was incredible.
well, the setting's great.
Yeah.
But the setting's great from Final Fantasy 10. So
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, you mean
but
10
like
2. 10 2.
10-2. No,
Oh,
10-2.
I thought you meant
Yeah,
meant 10 like 10 as well, not
Oh no, like 10-2 is in like
10
not the
hyphen
first one,
2.
but the second one. Yeah, 10
Okay.
hyphen 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the battle system, the because 10 is just strictly
Okay.
turn based. There's
Yeah.
no ATB.
Oh, I
Like,
really
I
liked it
can-
anyway. I was
yeah, I
like,
can
yeah, I
send the
liked 10's
command.
combat. It was perfect.
No, I like this. I like the second game because the thing about I like about ATB is like it's command. It is turn based, but it puts the pressure on you. It's like yes, the enemy can make moves, even if you don't do anything. You can't just sit there indefinitely. I mean, there's a pause button. You can always use the pause button. That's fine.
Okay,
that's
good.
nothing wrong with it.
I would
But
definitely
yeah,
want that.
yeah. And another one that I felt like it was done pretty well is Chrono Trigger, the remake, where basically you can have the ATB, but you can also turn it off, so it's just pure command. So some folks just like they can't keep up with it, they panic.
Yeah.
Maybe just turn that off. That's okay.
Yeah. I always turned it off
Don't hurt yourself.
for
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger. ATB, like I'm just not good at making quick decisions, and when I do, they're the worst things I could possibly do.
No.
I panic under pressure in video games.
Mhm.
So,
It makes me think like maybe two moves ahead. Like
Oh.
during the animation, I'm already thinking what I'm doing next.
it depends on
So,
how
like,
fast the ATB system is, because sometimes it's too fast, and then like I thought I had two moves, but that was last move, and now this is this move, but I'm behind already.
Yeah,
I'm
I
already
get the-
flustered. Can you tell?
sometimes on stream. Yeah, no, I think ATB is great. It gives me the rush of action, but also is still turn based, and you can still just turn it off and turn it into a pure turn based, just like that. Just turn off the ATB
Yeah.
at option, and you could do that. And I think it's a nice compromise. And we figured that out already since like early Final Fantasy. So I don't know. It's already so nice but that might not be what Josh is asking for, but
Yeah.
it's definitely what I think could be implemented in
Okay.
more.
So actually, one of the
turn-based
things that I
games,
really did really like is the press turn system from SMT5. and I
Press
would like
turn
to see that
system.
more often. Yeah.
What is the press turn system?
It's the combat system. It is very complicated to describe, but it basically affects like turn order and like getting extra turns in a round, to the point where like all parties could maybe, or everybody in the party could maybe attack like twice per round
Okay.
if you don't miss, if you get crits, if you attack enemy weaknesses and stuff. It's pretty awesome. I describe it in my video, in my review of it. It takes very thoughtful wording to describe concisely, and I'm not doing it right now.
you play Octopath, right?
Oh yeah, I loved Octopath.
Yeah, like the break and boost, like that
Oh.
sort of stuff. That's also really fun.
Yes.
Yeah, like just when you think that you couldn't innovate on basic turn based, they did it. Right?
I know.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Right. So if you guys have any other questions that you would like to have us respond to, you can leave us a voicemail at 785-339-78. No, that's not it. 785-339-3805. And
What? You mean 785-337-3805? You
Nope.
can leave a message to us
Nope.
and we'll listen to it and respond to it.
no,
What?
you got it wrong too.
Wait, I did?
You did.
785-337-3805. Wait,
No,
what?
no, it's 33. Isn't it 339?
337.
It's 337.
I'm reading it. Maybe that's why we don't get any
jeez.
voicemails.
Oh my gosh, do I have Hang on, I need to fix this.
This is why we don't get any voicemail, because Mr. Derek has been on the number.
Okay, so maybe it is 337, but the overlay on the screen is incorrect apparently. So
Okay, we're gonna figure this out after the show, like whether or not it's 337, 339.
we'll come back to that later. So
I see people in chat like, oh, I tried to call and they never responded to my message.
no. Okay.
Derek.
Yeah. So
I
moving
tried
along.
calling before and it wouldn't go through. Bam. We gotta fix it.
No.
I'm glad we had this conversation.
Oh my gosh.
We all
Okay.
messed up. We're only human. Okay. Shall we move on past this?
Yes.
horrendous
I've already
mistake? Yes.
switched I've already switched it. Okay, it is
Oh,
337 by the way. It is
Yes,
337.
this is 337. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So
fix
one
that
more
later.
time is 785-337-3805. Okay.
Correct.
Let's move on to updates to past releases. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, my favorite game that I have not played, but I'm sure I'll love it. The expansion pass DLC Wave 2 just got released, and you can now recruit a new hero, the Artificial Blade Ino, similar to Poppy from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And the new challenge battles are now available, where you can go through these tough challenges and get special accessories and outfits. So if you have Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you should definitely get that DLC and start playing. I know I will, because I've been waiting for this DLC before I start. So yes, that is coming.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
And that's it. Let's
Okay, cool. Let's move along then here.
moving along.
Games that are coming out this week. We
Heck
have
yeah.
Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. Because do you like Monster Rancher? How about Ultraman?
Mm.
If you are in the slim population who answered yes to both of these questions, then hey, this game may just be perfect for you, assuming that it's nicely done. And it looks like it's nicely done.
Yeah, it looks
And-
really good.
Yeah.
You want to take a look?
It looks so
Yeah.
good. I do want to take a look actually. Let's
Yes, let's
take a
do it.
look right now.
Let's do it.
Nope. Hang on.
Nope. What did you do? What?
I need to fix my my setting here. Wow. So while I stall here, I'll just let everybody know that I ended up coming home late this evening to do today's podcast, and I did everything a little bit just a little bit quickly and trying to kind of get things set up last minute sort of way, and so as a result, unfortunately I may have skipped a couple of initial setup checks. So yeah,
that's okay.
all
We
right,
got this.
Let's try this again. Yeah. Special announcement. Release date confirmed.
I love everything about this.
I know the music is just so perfect for it.
Yeah, train giant monsters. Let them compete.
God, I love like the little heart animations and stuff. Aw, it loves you.
It loves you. Yeah, well,
Because-
there's Bamco right there, man. Bamco's doing something right. They're making all kinds of like
They're being wacky, and I kind of
Square
like
Enix, man. Come on, catch up, man. We don't want brooding like protagonists all the freaking time. It doesn't always have to be like save the world from impending doom. Like, come
Yeah.
on, where's the fun? Bring the fun
it. Time
back
to save the
gaming.
world from impending boredom. Am I right?
Right.
All right, that's coming out on the 20th. That is going to be on Wednesday. Nope, Thursday this week. So make sure you
Yes.
keep your eyes peeled and grab that. I don't think that's gonna. Honestly, I have a feeling it's gonna be rare someday. So
Yeah,
grab it
no,
while you can.
seriously. Yeah.
That's one of those weird things that's made for a very small set of people who are gonna love it, and then it's gonna be disappeared. So
Very dedicated group of people who may or may not want to get that game 10 years from now for very high prices.
yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll see. I mean, that's not the reason to get it. I mean, it also looks like
Absolutely
it could be
not.
fun.
No,
but
definitely don't buy.
but if you want to like
copies.
pay your student loans off in 10 years, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, so definitely don't buy 5 copies of games like they're stocks. Because
Well, because
Don't do
yeah, if you bought them like they were stocks, you'd never sell them. Buy high, sell never. All right,
buy high,
so
sell never. Yes.
next up, what do we got here?
All right. Next up, also coming out on Thursday, is the newest Mario plus Rabbids game, Sparks of Hope. That game is just right around the corner. You know what? You want to take a look at that new launch trailer that
Oh,
they
we
have?
got a new launch trailer? Okay, yeah.
They have a new launch trailer. Yeah, it's pretty.
We are now
Yeah.
approaching
Oh my
Trust-
gosh. Yeah.
Trust like Nintendo to make like. I mean, good game. Say what you will about like, oh, they're kiddie or whatever. Like, they make fun games.
For sure.
They
You know,
make fun
honestly,
games.
seeing this though, like looking at this right now, why does Nintendo hire anything out to the people who are making the new Mario movie, right? Like
Yeah.
this looks like it would pass as, a movie
They do
cinematic.
have a new movie studio, so they're definitely trying to do stuff in house. Or
Yeah,
more
like-
stuff in house.
Like they have the talent to do stuff like that. That looks so nice. They have the people. They have the skills and the technology.
and probably the passion too, because a lot of people are very passionate about Nintendo games. Like their IPs that they grew up with. I mean, like look at all the Zelda fans, all the Metroid fans, all the Pokemon fans. Those are all Nintendo fanboys and girls. I mean, they might not realize it.
Yeah.
They're all Nintendo IPs. Fire Emblem.
This game looks so
Kirby.
kooky.
Come on.
It looks so
It's
kooky.
cute.
I like it.
I think this is kind of what I mean by like bringing the fun back. I mean, from what I understand, like this game series is very sophisticated in
Yeah.
gameplay.
Could you
know,
imagine for a moment if Square Enix made a game with this kind of visual aesthetic, like for
Well, they
maybe an action
tried.
RPG? Or are you thinking
Well,
of World of Final Fantasy?
The World of Final Fantasy, they try to bring that. What's that one game with like all the lawsuits and stuff? That like no one liked.
Yeah.
That one. I mean, they try to be all like. We say fun. We don't mean like dumb it down to
Yeah.
like there's a fine line. Like this is fun.
Yeah, this
But like Square Enix thinks like, well, I'm gonna make games for like 5-year-olds. Like, no. That's not. I think they've forgotten how to have fun.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm very convinced that fun is not in their dictionary anymore.
Yeah. But that has certainly grabbed my interest and my attention.
Look at that.
Super cool emo looking rabbit there.
Woohoo!
Maybe that's why Charles Martinet didn't do the voice of Mario. He's too busy doing so much work for Nintendo already that it would take time out of his, existing obligations.
Super busy schedule. There you go. Pre-order is available. There are 2 editions, the Gold Edition and the, I think, Cosmic Edition. The Gold Edition is actually the one with the steel bookcase, season pass, and some special in-game items. So please check that out. It is coming out October 20th and only on the Switch.
All right.
Yes.
Next up, we've got the long-awaited, very long-awaited port of Persona 5 Royal to modern consoles. It's finally coming. On the 21st, we'll see the release on PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and PC and Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
And PC is via Steam, by the way.
Yes.
This game is, of course, already available on PS4 and kind of on PS3 also, just not the Royal Edition. So anyways,
Yes.
Atlus is asking content creators to avoid live streaming the game prior to its global launch and nothing past December 12th at the end of the... What?
Yeah, nothing past
Atlus,
December 12th. To
this
the
game
end of the
isn't new anymore. Atlus, what are
Right.
you doing? What are you doing?
That's why I included that. So this game is like 3 years old at this point. And they're like, oh yeah, maybe don't spoil it for people.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean,
what?
No, the statute of limitations has passed. That is we realize that your horses are dead and gone, but we figured we'd close the barn doors already. Like, what the... Okay, so
Yeah.
anyways, I'll continue reading. As a side note, a new official card game for P5R is also in the works in a collaboration between Atlus and Pandasaurus Games. Not a whole
Yes.
lot of details are known at this time, but we do know that the game will be designed by Emerson Matsuuchi, and will feature all of your favorite characters from P5R.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to playing as Thug 2.
Yeah, so we do have a link later on the description. I just haven't had time to do it, but it's going to take you to the news, the official announcement from Pandasaurus game. I'm pretty excited about it. I do like myself some fun tabletop games. So there are already some unofficial tabletop games featuring Persona 5. I think there's like a fan-made one that made headlines before, but this is going to be the official one. So there you go.
Cool. Now, but I don't want to let him off too easy. Atlas, get back here because I am not done talking to you about this stupid stuff that you continue to insist on doing. It is not like, okay, if Atlus sends me a game and they have me sign an NDA and I'm subject to an embargo, that is a legal agreement. That is how you dictate to people like me what you are allowed to do or say leading up to the release of a game.
Right.
What people do after that game has released, though, is none of your business. Truthfully. And this whole thing about how they think they can dictate what people can and cannot do with their game. Like right now, live streaming video game playing is not like, that is not a privilege that Atlus extends to people like you and me, Baku. Like that is not something that like they grant out of the benevolence of their heart. That is just a fact of how things work in Western society. And maybe Japan just doesn't know that or like that very much. And I understand that their, Western branch has to kind of do whatever they are told to do by the Japanese branch of things, but that is incredibly stupid. Why? Why Atlus? Knock it off. Let people play what they want, and the people who want to avoid spoilers will not be watching those live streams. Just stop.
Yeah,
You're looking like a doofus. Stop being doofus, Mr. Atlus.
Just very out of touch. And like, okay, I read in chats like maybe there are new stuff that are not and I get it, right? Okay, so let's say that there are new items, which Atlus, by the way, you at this point made this the Persona 5 continuity very confusing already. And I was actually just talking about it with a friend the other day, complaining how like they released P5, then they released P5R, and then they released Striker, but Striker doesn't retcon to P5R. Striker retcons to the original game,
Mhm.
which makes no sense. And now they're coming up with, the definitive way to play basically to all these consoles. And guess what? They're releasing Royal.
Yep.
So like, why?
I mean,
What?
I don't know.
What? Anyways,
But the point is,
yeah.
you're not under you at home. You're not under any sort of embargo. Like, I don't know why they think that they have the authority to tell you what you can and cannot stream on Twitch, because that authority comes from you buying the game and having the ability, the transformative right to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, rant over, but
rant over.
Yeah. Come on, Atlus. Just
from content creators like ourselves, this is just so jarring, right? I think a lot of people might not care. Like the average like player might not really care too much, but from a content creator side, like it's just
it's
are you doing?
needlessly stupid. Like,
yeah, it just makes you look so out of touch with the world.
I know.
And your bread and butter is making a game talking about teenagers like struggling through like the world, but you can't suddenly also be out of touch with the world and society and still have some authority in what you're saying. It just doesn't make sense.
No,
It doesn't
I mean,
make sense.
and the way that they go about enforcing these things is by issuing false DMCAs, basically.
Yeah.
Saying that, oh, you are infringing upon our copyrights, when in fact that is not the case. They are basically bullies who are abusing a system when they enforce those policies, and it just makes me not like them very much when they do that sort of thing. So
reminds me of Toei, that Dragon Ball guy.
Oh yeah. Totally not Mark. Yeah,
it still stings. It's still they're still getting like hate for that today, as they should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm trying to move on.
Let's move on to new game announcements. Let's talk about some fun stuff, Derek.
Hey,
come on.
Yeah. Hey, before we do, let me switch to the new game announcements heading here. There we go.
Yes. All right. So, by the way, I forgot to mention this. But speaking of changing the tag, just great big thank you for Freddie Ken, who again got all the timestamps together. Thank you so much for doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
all right. Yeah. Just I was typing. I'm like, oh, I gotta make this mention. I forgot about it. Freddie Ken, you've not been forgotten completely. Okay, let's talk about new games. Quantamancy, The Purgatory is this new title that the developer Core Cell Technology, who created Eternal Blade 1 and 2, has just announced. They're calling it a roguelike action RPG. And now here's a quote from the developer talking about Quantamancy. It is a holy punk relationship building roguelike action RPG. Put in the shoes of an incompatible duo, a hard-boiled underworld criminal on the run and an innocent, talentless young girl entwined by destiny. Okay. I kind of want to see this game now.
That sounds very interesting.
What is holy punk? What is that?
That's what I want to know. Holy punk, and how rude to call an innocent girl talentless. That is rude, man. That is savage. Absolutely savage.
I know. We're gonna play this. We'll show you. We'll show you. All right. So no video available right now. Like this is super new.
Yeah.
There is a teaser site, and we'll link it down in the description below. As soon as they release something a little bit more substantial, like a release date or like a video, anything, we'll be sure to talk a little bit more about it. It is being developed for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC via Steam. Surprisingly, no Switch.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up, Zeboyd Games, who you might know from, they've made a few RPGs, haven't they? Anyways.
Have they?
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. Was it Saturday Morning RPG that they made, or let me double check them.
Yes.
Actually, here, you look it up. But yeah, I've definitely heard that name before. I think it was Saturday Morning RPG, but I might be
No, Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
Cthulhu Saves Christmas. Okay.
Hey, Cosmic
Okay.
Star Heroine.
Yes, and Cosmic Star Hero. Okay.
Oh,
The Boy
right,
Games.
yes.
These guys are awesome. Anyways,
Yes.
they've announced a new Shakespearean magical girls RPG with some pretty heavy inspirations from Sailor Moon.
It looks so good. It looks so good. I saw this. I couldn't stop laughing about it. But
The
sorry,
game
please. Yes.
takes place in a quiet city in Verona, Italy, where a giant mutant flowers are attacking. You play as the Stratford upon Avon High Drama Society. wait. You play as the Stratford upon Avon High Drama Society. I don't. Okay. Anyways, teleport to dimensions based on Shakespearean plays and fight mutant flowers with your magical girl powers. Baku, would you like to take a look at this this trailer?
Absolutely. With pleasure. Let's do it.
Now, this game is, by the way, called This Way Lies Madness, and it sounds incredible.
No, it's this way. Madness lies.
Okay. I see this sailor inspirations.
Oh yeah. Like by magical girl, they mean Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Let's be real. There are lots of magical girl genre. This is without any questions Sailor Moon inspired.
So you don't think that this is like not
Well,
Card
unless
Captor
it's
Sakura
Madoka,
inspired?
unless it's Madoka inspired, and then like 3 chapters in and characters are killed off, then okay.
Okay. So you're saying probably not Card Captor Sakura
Oh,
inspired?
definitely not Cop Captor. No,
Yeah.
yeah, no Cop Captor here.
No, that definitely looks like with especially the different colored.
Yeah, it's like
outfits.
a Sentai situation. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got the transformation sequence.
It's got the transformation sequence.
Oh, fantastic! On Steam, November 10th. It's gonna be $10.
For $10.
10
Dude, $10.
$10.
Come on. I'd do it for $10. Guarantee. $10 easy. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah,
So
that looks
stoked
pretty
for
dang
it.
rad.
Yeah, I guess I'm especially stoked about it because like the release date is firm. It's closing in. They just announced it and they're like, oh yeah, it's coming out next month. Boom.
Wow.
You're not waiting forever. I don't have to keep coming back to tell you about it. Like,
But we
November,
will
I
tell you
remind
about it.
once.
We will tell
Yeah.
you about it the week that it comes out, though.
Yeah, and
So.
I'll play it.
God, that looks. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see it on Baku's stream.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see Derek play the same game and cosplay, yeah, definitely shame him on Twitter.
Unless Zeboyd tells you that you're not allowed to stream it past a certain hour or something.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
Let's move on.
Next up, we've got a game called Relayer Advanced. And if Relayer sounds familiar to you, it's because this is the upgraded version of the recently released mecha tactical RPG called Relayer. And now they're re-releasing Relayer. Well, not re-releasing, but like porting the game to PC and releasing that as Relayer Advanced. Now, the upgraded version will have improved UI, a story recollection mode, and also new endgame content. So we do have a trailer for that. Let's take a look at that.
You
Let's
betcha.
refresh our memories. What is this Relayer? I don't remember.
Oh, that's what this was.
This one. Relayer Advanced.
Gundam Wing Tactics or something.
Gundam Wing Tactics. There actually was a Gundam Wing Tactics game a long time ago, if I remember correctly.
Oh, was it called Super
there-
Robot
there-
Wars?
There was one. No, it was not Super Brawl. It was just Gundam Wings. I think there was.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
think there was.
That would be super cool then. Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe I would play that one.
There were so many Gundam games in the past that like my memory is just a little shoddy. I vaguely remember there being one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So these are called the wormhole missions. This is the like new end game content. Yada yada. I still haven't played this game. I bought it and it's just like sitting there, like all the other games that I've bought this year. That's also just sitting there. Oh my god, I bought a lot of games this year that's just sitting in my shelf.
Dude.
Situation's
me
not
too.
improving.
Me too. You know what would be super cool? I think it'd be probably very, very difficult, but could you imagine a grid-based tactical RPG set in space where you actually move in 3 dimensions instead of 2? I feel like that would be super
that'd be
tough.
hard.
That'd be really tough, but
that'd be hard.
But dude, because I feel like I was watching that and it's like all these mecha are out in space and stuff, but they're all like in a line together. Like it just seems.
That's right. It seems odd, right?
Yeah, like there's no central place. Like when you are like, you ever notice in Star Wars that like 2 spaceships are like flying toward each other and they're all like on the same plane. They've assumed like, oh yes, this way is up, regardless, because like, well, where's the ground, right? There's no.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that they wouldn't like just encounter each other, like, you know, one upside down from the other's perspective or whatever. I don't know.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense. And, you know, I never really thought about it like that, but
Yeah.
that would be super awesome. But I also feel like people have hard enough time strategizing on a 2D plane.
Oh,
You put it on
absolutely.
a 3D plane, they're like, whoa.
I wonder.
Overload.
I bet that there's got to be some game that has at least attempted this. I
Oh,
wonder.
I'm sure there has been. There's got to be some genius out there who's put a game together like that, like some kind of real time like strategy game.
Maybe not real time. That would be a lot. That would be super a lot to take in. But like a turn-based, grid-based like 3D, that'd be interesting. With just extra, you know, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you kind of do. But like, there's the X and Y axis, which upon there's a grid. But what about adding a Y axis or a Z axis rather?
Z axis, yeah.
So you have like cubes that you are moving between and attacking and stuff. That would be so
Yeah.
cool.
You know, if they did something like that though, I would imagine it would be something like what's that one game from Nisa where like basically instead of having grid based system, it's like it's on a 2D plane, but instead of having like grids of where you can go, it's like a circle.
Yeah, like
You can
spheres
move
of,
within that circle.
influence. Yeah.
Yeah. So but instead of that, it would be an actual sphere.
Yeah.
Like that's the distance you can travel.
That'd be
so
really
I think
cool.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that solves the whole grid issue, right? All right.
All right.
So
I guess. Oh yeah.
So that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the game is coming out on Steam for October 27th, and then GOG on November 10th. It's a little delay there. Now, what happens if you already own the game? Because I own the game and I'm not getting the advance. Well, good news. If you already own the game, the advanced content will be available to you as a free upgrade. You don't have to pay anything. This is
Nice.
this is how I think game companies should be. Like you release extra content, make it free, or
Yeah.
at least give me a way to buy it. It is free upgrade. It will be a little later. It will be November 18th, but it's
Yeah.
a free upgrade to
That's
your
awesome.
existing PS4, PS5 version. So good job, Drake and Me Game. Good job for being pro-consumer.
That's how it should be done. You know, I
That's
feel
how
like
it should be. That's how it should be. Yeah.
I mean, I understand that certain kinds of overhauls of games can't really do that. Like Persona 5 The Royal, I think, was really quite a bit different as I understand it, and I could
I mean,
understand
if you
why.
do like a giant expansion pack, obviously.
Like there should be
right?
maybe a paid upgrade, but not the whole cost of the game.
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely not. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Make you buy the entire game again just to play
full
like part
price.
of the new stuff.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
No.
not a fan of that at all.
not a fan.
All right, well,
All right.
we have another game that I couldn't help. It's so pretty. I've been following this game for a few months now, actually, probably longer, because I've seen the art show up in like the pixel art subreddit for a while. Because I like to lurk there for a bit, and and this has shown up from time to time, and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. I wonder what they're making. Oh, that looks so cool. I wonder what they're making. And well, so. Developer Good Old Pixel has started a Kickstarter campaign for a new turn-based RPG that they are calling it a spiritual successor to Breath of Fire. and it is called Tears of Magic.
Here's the magic.
So from the developer, they say, you were born as one of the last dragons in a world where dragons have not been seen in over a century. Sound familiar? After manifesting your powers for the first time, you witness the disaster such as unbridled power can. You witness the disaster that such unbridled power can wreak, and sought the training and protection of the Seekers, an organization of mages that work to prevent the corruption from occurring around Vasteros, the western continent. Under the guidance, you learn to control your powers and have now been sent on a mission to investigate a series of corruption cases caused by unknown forces, where you'll meet both horrifying new foes and powerful, steadfast allies. A journey which will uncover the secrets of the world, dragons, and magic.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
We've been reached up to by multiple viewers over the last several weeks regarding this game. And so, yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot to talk about it up to this point, but we decided, we even talked about it very briefly in a previous episode, Baku and I. And we talked about how cool it looks, but they're like, but hold on, because there's nothing really to talk about. We'll talk about it when they start the Kickstarter. Well, that has happened now. And we have a Kickstarter trailer that we can also show you. So let's go ahead and take a quick gander at that.
Come closer, children. Let me tell you the tale of the great calamity and the dragons. It all started with a single tear. A tear shed by the goddess Aria. The single tear became many as she wept over the sins of mankind, and soon a torrential storm ravaged the land. When the raging tempest finally subsided,
I gotta say,
the world was changed.
the voice actor right now,
Ever.
pretty good
Watched our loved ones drenched
for
by
an indie
Aria's
that hasn't even done the Kickstarter
journey
yet.
to twisted abominations of their former selves. In desperation, we prayed to the gods for forgiveness as we fought against family and friends to survive, but to no avail.
Oh, the little glyphs of people with like the tails and the wings.
Fell to the twisted hordes. As the last ember of hope was burning out, the winds of fate shifted. The Lord of the Dragons and his clan had arrived.
Yeah.
The new allies risked themselves, life and limb, to protect our home and bring hope to our struggling forces. However, victory was nowhere in sight, and desperation grew as the first dragons fell on the battlefield. As a last stand, the Dragon Lord and his allies delved into the realm of gods to beg Aria to spare mankind. Touched by their selfless acts, the goddess offered peace in exchange for the Dragon Lord's life. He accepted. The madness was finally over, and the greatest hero was gone. As quickly as they arrived, the remaining dragons disappeared without a trace. Where they went,
Kind of
no
seems
one knows.
a bit reminiscent of the intro sequence from like Breath of Fire 3 with the scrolling. Yeah, this is the stuff that I've been waiting to see. I wanted to see this in action. Looks like there's like a sphere of stuff that like hides the trees that are in the foreground as you walk in front of it. That's kind of neat.
Go, Last Dragon, go fishing! All right.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Hey, I mean the fact that it has fishing is super important to me. Don't you dare dog.
It's not JRPG if you don't have fishing. I mean, come on, we all know that.
So they got Basir there.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Like they've got lots of really great art so far.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I saw some of this in action here. A blue-haired warrior, silver-haired anti-hero, a jokester with dark skin. Whatever path you choose, it's your story.
That's pretty ambitious, I think.
It seems very...
For an indie game, that's pretty ambitious. Having choices to alters.
Well, then what are you reckon y'all want to be playing my game. Calling her the Chronicles of Benji. Gonna be the best thing since meat met fire. What's that? You're sure? Tears of magic? What kind of idiot thinks that's a good idea? Dang old Chronicles of Benji, I'm saying.
So that must be Benji, I guess.
Now,
Yes.
hand over your wallets.
You heard her. Hand over that wallet. So you can play as a male protagonist or a female protagonist. Either way, your name is Kaiser, I believe. Based on what I saw on the Kickstarter. So we will be linking the Kickstarter underneath, of course. But yeah.
So yeah, check it
Man.
out. I've been talking about how much I want a new Breath of Fire title for a while.
Mhm.
And I mean, hey, if Capcom's not listening, at least some indie people are. So this is probably a pretty good time for them to be doing this. So, and who knows, maybe if they do super well, maybe Capcom will pull a Konami and finally remaster the old stuff and give us ways to play it again, eh?
I see. Here's the thing. I feel like Capcom's been itching to do that for a while now. They're just
Breath of Fire?
I think so. But remember how they added Breath of Fire in that poll, like in that survey, like what kind of games would you like to see in the future? They didn't have to include Breath of Fire of all things. Like
it was definitely out of left field, that inclusion. It's just really hard to continue to be excited when so far like we haven't heard anything yet about it. I mean, it would be awfully quick turnaround, of course, but
yeah.
I mean,
I think the difference between Capcom and Konami is Capcom's been making games this whole time.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, you know, they have been making turn-based RPG through Monster Hunter Story. So it's not like they've abandoned, you know, the concept or the idea of having, you know, a good turn-based RPG. They have one. It's just not Breath of Fire, but it could be. Right, they could have multiple turn-based RPG, right? Yeah, that's fine.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they should
whereas
revive Sweet
Konami
Home.
is. I think they are. I think they totally are.
Okay.
Yeah, but Konami is just like, pinball, am I right? NFT with the pinball, hey. Anyways, yeah, we'll be adding the Kickstarter in the description, so definitely check that out. Or you can just Google it. You know, Tears of Magic.
As of right now, I think they're about halfway to their 88,000 goal.
Yeah.
So they're hitting about 40 something in just a little less than a week.
Strong. Yeah.
Like,
not strong.
Not bad in less than a week. But
I I think the more we talk about it, I think they just need a little bit more coverage. I'm not seeing too much coverage right now, but I think with enough coverage, they will be able to reach that goal.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We'll find out. But yeah, we got some other news to talk about though.
Yes.
A little bit of a shift in tone though, unfortunately. So you wanna take a swig and then lead us off here, Baku?
Yeah, I had to get ready for this one. Okay, so I actually talked a little bit about this on my Twitch stream too, because I couldn't wait to talk about it with people. I couldn't wait to talk about it. Recently, I've watched something on with what is that? Who's the guy? John Oliver. I was watching this thing from John Oliver, where basically he was talking about how the news cycle would talk about like the big headline, but then there are important follow-ups to stories, but they're never talked about, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was also talking about something else, like he was talking about crime reporting. But part of it is that part of the problem is big news cycle. They just want to throw these big things at you and then they don't come back and talk about the important details. Well, we have such a case here, and I want to make sure that we cover this detail after the big news, because this is extremely important.
Yeah.
This is regarding the Yu-Gi-Oh creator Katsuki Takashi, which again, back in July, in fact, it was 4th of July, we talked about his passing. We did a coverage regarding his disappearance and his body being discovered off the coast of Okinawa. Based on the autopsy, they've sort of determined that it was by drowning. There were no malicious play, and he was in scuba gear. So
Mhm.
they basically just assumed, or they speculated, that it was a scuba accident. He went out to scuba dive, and then tragedy strike, right?
Right.
And that's where we left it in July. But curiously, I remember talking about this. Like, yeah, the Coast Guard is going to continue to investigate this. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what are they investigating?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, there is
exactly.
that there's no foul play. They can assume that it is a scuba diving accident.
Mhm.
Well, it turns out, yes, there's absolutely something to fall upon. So let's talk about it. Because with this new information, it paints a completely different picture for the last like seconds, the last moments of his life. Um, According to a U.S. military publication, I know it's just what a jump. Like,
Yeah.
like what do we call Stars and Stripes? Several eyewitnesses from people who are based in Okinawa recounted that Takahashi actually died while attempting to save 3 people caught in a riptide. And that's insane.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Continuing on, diving instructor Major Robert Bourgu, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, told Stars and Stripes that he was at Mermaid's Grotto, which is a popular diving spot in Okinawa, with several of his students. When this group spotted 3 people caught in a riptide. At some point during this like chaos, right? Like the 3 people caught in a riptide. They're like, holy crap. At some point during all this chaos, Takahashi attempted to aid the rescue by donning his snorkeling gears. So not scuba gear, but snorkeling gears. And the major said that although he never saw Takahashi get into the water, his students, who he was at teaching, said that Takahashi was trying to help, and he put his life in grave danger in doing so. So this story actually corroborated with local authorities finding Takahashi's rental car near that diving spot. So it is not just like stuff they just made up. Like there are actual like evidence that sort of matches with their claim. So I think
That's
it's sort of, yeah, like I think the crazy part is this, right? At first we're just kind of like, which by the way, this man is in his 60s, okay,
Oh, wow.
or so he's not exactly like a young man, right?
Sure.
And before we're just kind of like, oh, he was out in his scuba gear or snorkeling gear. He must have just had some kind of oopsies, and then it's just super tragic, of course. But it's like, oh, well, it was an accident. It's a lot greater than that. Like he
Yeah.
was trying to save these people, and unfortunately, he was taken along with the riptide. But on the bright side, the 3 people who were caught in the riptide were saved. But I feel like it is super important to put that out there to make sure that we're all aware that this was how he spent the last moments of his life. So
Trying
so
to
he's
save
an
someone. That is
absolute hero.
absolutely.
And I just felt like we had to follow up. We talked about this, and I just had to,
Yeah,
bring
revisit
this fact.
this.
Yeah,
And-
we had
and-
to revisit this.
and tell the whole rest of the story, which is honestly it's just as incredible as the first part, or if not even more so. To risk
Yeah.
your own life trying to save somebody else's, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, it was tough to talk about it, but we had to do it. We had to talk about it. So hope you guys will have a newfound appreciation for Yu-Gi-Oh's creator, a legend, just being the fact that he is Yu-Gi-Oh's creator, and also a great senpai. Because I think we talked about it during July, but it bears repeating. When a lot of the other like mangaka or manga artists recount their times with Takahashi, they remember just him, giving great guidance on like animation and drawing, like just being a great senpai to a lot of the manga artists who came up behind him, and he continues to offer guidance and help to new generations of manga artists up until the point of his passing. So absolutely a BAMF through and through. So
I have only one last thing to add to that, and that is that it's really awesome to know that the guy who's behind these stories that have stories of heroics, people doing heroic deeds, is capable and was willing and able to he was in an opportunity to walk the walk, and he took that opportunity, which is huge. The ability to do that is not in everybody. The ability to actually try to not just be a bystander, but to actually take action when people are in danger. It's an incredible thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
hats off.
So yeah, so he's made a fan out of me for sure. So yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, now might be a good time to go back and revisit that classic or play some games. I don't know, just see what his work was about.
All right, so let's move along here to something a little more lighthearted, I think, in nature. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's not quite as heavy. I mean, in my opinion, at least. So the original voice actress behind Bayonetta, Helena Taylor, is urging fans to boycott Bayonetta 3. Why would they be wanting to boycott a game that she was in? Well, she's not actually in it. So here's the deal with Bayonetta 3. Apparently Platinum Games, when they approached her to reprise her role as this voice actress for Bayonetta, they offered her about $4,000, and then just I guess I'm not a voice actor. Well, I mean, not a professional one. I'm a crappy one over on my Twitch channel. But so I don't know what like the going rate is for that amount of work. I don't know how much work there was, but it sounds like, according to her, that was not enough. $4,000. I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what $4,000 means. Like, oh, they
I don't
gave me
have
$4,000.
Like,
yeah,
right.
That,
like, am I like having to like? Can I record this at home?
Yeah.
Am I like going to be in somewhere else for like a month or stuff recording this? Is that
like, what did you have to do? Is it $4,000 for a week of work? Because that's pretty good money.
I mean,
$4,000 for a week of work. Like,
so what I've heard though is that like the going rate of a voice actor, like on the low end, is like $100 for like a 4-hour day, and out of that 4 hours, you maybe get like 30 minutes of like usable audio. But I don't know how much audio there was in the game. Like, I don't know what the size of the script was. And apparently she didn't think that was a reasonable offer, I guess, considering. And here's the thing. It's weird that she's calling for a boycott, I think, based on this. Like, that might not have been a very good offer. It might have been. I don't know. That's kind of irrelevant. The point is, though, that like businesses and her have the ability to like offer wages that they feel like, and that's the market playing out. If somebody else was willing to do it for less than she was, I mean, that's kind of like, that's how it goes. If that's the problem with trying to negotiate like you're irreplaceable if you aren't. And that's kind of like the end there. I mean, anyways, so yeah, series creator Hideki Kamiya responded with a series of indirect tweets, which are no longer available because his Twitter account's been removed, reasons unknown. But it sounded like he was kind of calling her a liar, maybe, from those tweets that we saw. But
at least saying it was
or not the whole story, or
it was. I think it was in Japanese, perhaps, but at least it was. Obviously, he was saying that these are not factuals. I don't think he directly at her and say things just like, oh, there are some things that are
there's a bunch of BS going
factual.
around here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of BS going on. Yeah, basically. But his site is no longer there. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have enough information to feel one way or another. Right.
Yeah.
On the one hand, it could be $4,000 for 2 months of work, in which case that's pretty low for
Yeah.
like a lead role. I mean, come on, like you guys made enough money to pay her a living wage, but if it's like $4,000 for like 1 week,
Yeah, if it's just her grunting and going ha ha, and then like recording 6 lines, then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe that's
like,
reasonable. I don't know.
That's very different in terms of like, and again, Derek and I, we don't know what the going rates are, right? So I don't know what to tell you, but if there are any voice actors out here watching this, and you guys can shed some light on actually the going rate for a voice actor should be this much in America, then we'll have some benchmarks. But for now, it's just sounds like she just wasn't happy about it, and the market played out. Platinum Games felt like they can get away with a different person for less, and they went for it. And here's the thing, the voice is so iconic to the character that like I if I was Platinum Games, I would have a hard time choosing a different person over like 1,000 or two.
Maybe. I mean,
like from a giant company, I'm just like, look, I am happy to give you double if you can just like maintain the voice, and when people hear it, they're not going to have like some kind of dissonance.
I didn't know that there was a different voice actress from the trailers.
I didn't know there was a different voice actor.
I'm not a huge Bayonetta like player, but the point of the matter though is she thought she was irreplaceable. She was wrong. She made a gamble, turned down the offer, and they found somebody else. I mean, we're all adults here. Like that's just what it is. Yeah. So moving along.
Anyways, moving along. So we've got a new game showcase coming, and these are always exciting for me because whenever there are new game showcase from companies, that means that we'll get some new games that we can talk about on HitPoint. This time, it is some Aksys games. Aksys Games will be hosting its own fall showcase on Thursday, October 20th, on 1 p.m. Eastern time. And that's noon on Central Time and 10 a.m. for Pacific Time for anyone who cares. The developer has hinted there will be some brand new game announcements, although they haven't said exactly what those things will be. You can watch the showcase at Aksys Games' official Twitch and YouTube channel. We'll be linking the YouTube channel down in the description. So again, that is going to be Thursday, October 20th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right.
Yes.
So it leads us to another little bit of thing here.
This came right before we start the show.
I know. Like as I was scrambling to make a thumbnail for the episode, Baku was typing away all the details of this one. So the Silent Hill official Twitter account sent out a pretty cryptic message today before the show saying, "In your restless dreams, do you see that town? The latest update for the Silent Hill series will be revealed during the hashtag Silent Hill transmission on Wednesday, October 19th at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time."
Yes.
So I guess that there's an image that takes us to a non-functional website.
Yeah, I went to the website, try to enter my date of birth and stuff, try to see what else is there, and it just keeps asking you to confirm your date of birth. So I would say that's non-functional. But it's there. I hope that they get it to be functional by Wednesday or Thursday. So some Silent Hill announcements coming, which corroborated with what that French director was talking about the other day, right? We were talking about the French director. Oh yeah, there's several games, in play.
Yeah,
I'm like,
funny thing, because we were just like, well, who's this guy, and why would he know?
Yeah.
My incredulity caught up to us, I guess. So
or they're like, oh gosh darn it, like Konami's like, he spilled the beans, all right, release the site.
yeah, well,
You opened his mouth. He thought we would know.
well, time to launch a website that's half baked.
Time to launch the website. That's why it's
Ship
not
it.
even complete. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't even work.
The guy's like, wait, I was still working on the button.
I feel bad for like the full stack developers. Like, wait, but I'm still working at that. Nope, release
Ship it.
it. I don't
It's
care.
live.
I don't care if it doesn't work. It's just...
Screw it. Well, you can code it. You can code it while it's live. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just put.
All right. Well, we got
Yeah.
we got some other news here coming up from Falcom. You wanna tell us about it?
Yes. So, in a new interview with the Falcom president, with the Chinese website Weibo, I don't know why. I was asking Derek, I'm like, what is up with the Falcom president always doing interview with Weibo? This is like the second time I had to report this. But whatever. He seems to like Weibo a lot. It's this long interview, of course, but here are a couple key points that I feel like would be interesting to you all. First of all, Trails is about 70% complete in terms of like the grand story. We're at 70% point now. Regarding there will be one more Kudo game for like the Calvin region. I think Calvard. Yeah, the Calvard region, which is where Kudo takes place. There will be one more, right? So I think now we're at like the second game. There will be one more. And Kondo also says that there will be about 2 to 3 regions left to explore. Each of the regions will be smaller than the previous ones, so that you're not going to get like 3 games out of all of them. But there will be 2 to 3 regions left. Here's the thing that we've talked about that sort of contradicts what he said before regarding Sky Remake. Okay, Kondo states, and I quote in the English translation,
Okay.
the players worldwide, their voices will ultimately determine its visibility. Kondo himself, the Asian and Japanese player bases, and several other staff members all have personal connections to the Sky Saga. So a remake effort at least seems plausible, which is definitely different from what he was saying before, because what he said before
Is that it's off the table.
It's off the table because we need to finish this freaking thing first before our staff retire. I want them to be able to see the completion of the game before we talk about like this remake. So maybe that's what it is, right?
It's completely wild.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's, we'll think about it, we'll shelf this for now. It's not a no.
Okay.
We want you to tell us you want it, like you really want it.
Oh.
But in the meantime, we're gonna finish the story.
Okay.
So that's the message that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Don't think about seeing Sky remake. Just keep demanding it, right? If you really want to see it, keep demanding it. But don't expect to see anything until this entire trail story is done. And we're at 70%. So maybe another decade.
God, I can't even imagine what a Sky remake would look like at this point. Honestly, like
it will
Sky
look good.
as like a Sky series like remake in the style of the like Kudo or something beyond.
I want Estelle in all like 4K glory.
Have you finished the third, by the way?
I have not, because Spooptober started and I binged Trail's third. Look, Spooptober happens once a year. I can't. I'll binge anything.
I mean, the setting of the third is pretty spoopy. Just saying.
But not as spoopy as actual horror game.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. It's whatever, Baku. I'm only a little disappointed in you.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, you know what? There was one game that we covered during HitPoint. It was called like Before the Night. It was like this Korean horror game that I showed you, where the little girl like found herself in a forest with animal people, and then they kind of like brought her in, and then she found out that they eat people and yada yada. I played that game. and that game was amazing.
Ooh.
It was so good. Like it was so good. It was about like a 4 or 5 hours game, but it was so good. So I just had to throw that out there. Man, that game was a ride, and I highly recommend anyone who might be into like this kind of like cute juxtaposed horror game with a little action gameplay and puzzle. It was so good. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
Well,
Yes.
it's time for me to be a mood killer again here, guys, because we do have
okay.
a little bit more heavy news to relay to you all. And that is that on Monday, the 10th of October, it was communicated to the community via John Atterbury's Twitter account that Daniel Scott Tijerina, I hope I said that right, known to many as Kill Scott Kill from his YouTube channel, or simply as Scott from the Geofront team, has unfortunately passed away. Scott worked very hard on the Geofront team's fan localization as an editor in Trails from Zero and lead editor in Trails to Azure. And in the first few communications, in the very few communications that I had with him, I could tell right away that he was an extremely passionate person and a very thoughtful person. John Atterbury has a beautifully written thread on Twitter talking about his experiences working with Scott, and I would encourage everybody here to give that a read at some point and make a point of playing through Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure, because you'll absolutely find his fingerprints all over that now official localization. My heart goes out to his friends and family who have lost someone truly special in their lives.
Yeah.
And there will be a link to that in the description to that thread.
I will be playing Zero as soon as I return my PS4 copy, which I still haven't done yet, and get myself a Switch copy because I will be playing that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Yeah,
That's-
I know this. I saw your message. I was like, did you hear about Scott? I'm like, who's Scott?
Yeah, it's if you were following the Trails localization like as it happened, the Zero and Azure, he was a big public figure in that. You know, and I'd spoken with him on a few occasions leading up to the release of Azure, and yeah, just incredible person for sure.
Yeah, I had to. Well, so what I was gonna say is, I was like, "Who's Scott?" I have no idea. So I had to go back and like read through all these things to like
Oh.
understand what's
Mhm.
happening. So I'm like, okay, now I'm caught up. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, geez. Okay, I get it now. Yeah. So the absolutely great loss to the community and really just I mean, the game. I would say the game industry in general. I mean, this is not
Yeah.
limited to just Trails,
It
right?
felt like-
Obviously, he's a great contributor to the Trails community, but just like in the game industry as a whole, this
Yeah.
is a great
It felt like
loss.
somebody who was just getting started, you know,
Yeah,
gone too soon.
yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this happens all the time with people who are just very talented people too. Like I don't know what it is, but it seems like the more talented they are, the sooner they go. But yeah, so he will definitely be missed, and we'll definitely be playing Zero. And speaking of, there is a giveaway. Check
yeah,
that
there
out.
is.
So
Yeah.
you can get your own copy from Derek's and experience the work that that Scott had put in.
Definitely. Scott and so many other really talented people.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit to something slightly different. Shilling some merch.
Oh, chill. Okay, I got this because I added this for Derek actually.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely added. So you wanna switch over to my screen really quick?
Yeah. Let's switch over to your screen.
Oh wait a
Nope,
minute.
that didn't
Oh,
work.
Wait, no. No, I was missing one letter
Oh,
somehow.
okay. You gonna try
Yeah,
again?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
There we go.
a little game called, SMT3 Nocturne. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's got a soundtrack box set. And the funny thing is it doesn't ship to Japan for once. Just, yes, yes, America. No shipping to Japan.
Man, that's incredible.
How you like them apples, Japan? What up? How do you like it when something doesn't ship to you? That's right. Yeah. Anyways, Fangamer has opened up orders for the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne vinyl soundtrack box set. It will cost $79, as you can see, US dollars. It includes 4 discs with 70 tracks in total.
That's not bad.
A good amount of tracks. That's a lot of tracks. This is beautiful 4 LP box set with brand new art by Tony Infante. I am totally butchering their name. So, super cool. We'll put a link down in the description below. Okay, but you can see. Oh my God, this looks beautiful.
Don't it?
Wow.
I know. That looks so good.
Wow, Derek. Wow, this looks amazing.
Is this an arranged soundtrack, or is it like just rips from like the game audio? Do you know?
I don't know. It's composed by. I would imagine that is straight rip.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's arranged. Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. And I am a particular fan of arranged soundtracks, but on vinyl at least.
Fair.
But that's super cool.
Man, that
and I know
looks
you're
good.
playing it up a little bit, but yes, that does look really good. And I've already thought about maybe pre-ordering it because I can actually afford this one. It's no $400 box set of all of the Persona games.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know?
like some of these sets are like $200 for one
Vinyl ain't
disc. Like,
cheap.
what?
It's not cheap to make vinyl, especially these days. But I mean, that's several discs.
I mean,
and
$20 per. That's like a CD. That's
pretty
less than a
reasonable.
CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
yeah.
Does not ship to Japan. What up, Japan?
Sorry,
Hey,
Japan.
Japan,
Get wrecked.
look at me. See this?
Japan's
this
like,
is how
why-
it feels.
Japan probably feels like, bro, we don't even have record players anymore.
No, actually, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. No, yeah, Audio Technica, they make great record players.
Oh, I know they do.
Japanese company. Oh yeah, no, it's huge, and for audiophiles over in Japan.
All right.
Oh
well,
yeah,
fine.
no, it.
I thought hipsters were local to the United States, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think actually these record players has been they've never gone out of fashion with the hi-fi folks anyways in Japan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So not a hipster thing, but like a hi-fi thing, apparently.
Okay. Well,
All right.
As a hipster hi-fi person myself, this does look, in fact, pretty tempting. So let's go ahead and switch gears one final time here and start responding to some of the super chats that we've gotten here along the way, because we have gotten a few that I saw out of the corner of my eye. But now, let's see, what do we got here? Let's scroll up to the top here. Bring back Fluffy Dogs says,
Hey, Fluffy Dog.
HitPoint
Fluffy
hype.
Dog.
HitPoint hype, they say, as they
Point height.
subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Or
Yay!
not subscribe, but what do they call that? Memberships. Yes. And
Thank you.
As members, if you become a member of the channel, you also gain access to some pretty cool emotes, if I may say so myself. As well as another, oh my God, okay, as well as another super chat that Fluffy Dogs dropped here for.
Hey, Fluffy Dogs again.
He says, your request for giveaway shipping has been received and processed. Holiday wishes granted. As they dropped $100 on the.
What?
Oh my God, dude! Thank you so much, Fluffy Dogs.
Did he do a red super chat? Did you do a red chat? You did a red
They
chat.
did. There was a
You
red
did a
chat.
red chat.
Thanks. Gosh.
Thank you
that's
for covering shipping, man.
very much
Someone
appreciated.
out there is thanking you.
And then he says,
thank
in
you.
another one, for $5, he says, just to squash any appearance of shenanigans, please remove my name from the giveaway list. Thank you. so they've removed themselves as a, well, that's very kind. That's actually-
Crazy, man. Thank you so much for your generosity, man. Appreciate
All right.
it.
That is very much appreciated. Francisco Lira dropped us one here. It says, the Atlus dinosaurs attack again. Don't get me started on those Atlus dinosaurs.
It's just such a weird. Like I said, it's such a weird thing. Their bread and butter is again writing about teenagers through like traversing
I know.
the world,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you would think that they would like be pretty up and with it, right? But they're
Yeah.
definitely not with it. Like, what's going on? Hey, there you go.
Sorry.
Oh right. No, this is that's a bonus right there.
Special guests on the podcast are my dogs.
Special guest.
Sorry
Yes.
about that.
Cute. No one's mad at that. If you're mad about that just now, speak up, because you shouldn't be, because
All right.
doggos are super cute.
All right. So we got
Okay.
we got two more to get through. One from Matthew, who says, I think Baku may be recalling a hexagonal tactical Gundam Wing flash game on Bandai's website when Gundam Wing first arrived in the States.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah, I definitely remember like a tactical RPG with Gundam Wing like robots, and only Gundam Wing robots. And if I remember correctly, they weren't like super deformed, because like if it was like Super Robot Wars, they'd be like more or less deformed. They wouldn't be like full size, like length and all. But like I just remember them being like just like regular size Gundam, pretty crude, like animation. But I mean, good for the time. It was like kind of Super Nintendo e or like PlayStation 1 level kind of graphics. But yeah,
I think
but
I'm looking
it
at
could be that.
I think I'm looking at some pictures actually right now. I'm looking it up. Yeah, review SD Gundam G. Oh, that's SD Gundam G generation. Never mind.
Oh no, definitely not G generation. G
Yeah.
generation is
Yeah, that's not
something
it.
else.
That's not it. Never mind. Disregard. Yeah.
Disregard.
Okay. So we had another one
Wing
here.
Assault. Wing
Oh,
Assault. It's
Wing
called
Assault.
Gundam Wing Assault.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I found it.
Cool. Is that the one you were thinking of?
It looks like it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So Francisco Lira dropped us another one here, and they said, and this is a really interesting one. He says, in another podcast, I heard that it was $4,000 for 5 days, and that's union approved. Do you think that the boycott will improve or lower Bayonetta 3 sales?
$4,000 for 5 days of work is
So
pretty good.
remember what I said though when I said that was what I was saying was like that's on the low end is like $100 for like a 4-hour shift of like voice acting. Like that is on the low end. Like not like probably what I would say is like not like because that's like $25 an hour, and that's that's on the very low end of like just getting started, not somebody who's like unionized, not somebody who's probably professionally doing it. So yeah.
Let me do some calculating. You said well, I mean, it's $4,000 over 40 hours of work. Let's say, right? Let's say you work 8 hours a day. That's $100 an hour. That's $100 an hour. That's not bad. I mean,
Yeah. So I don't.
That's pretty good.
I'm not in the
pay.
biz, so it's good to have that other point, that other data point, besides just what I had randomly read somewhere. Because, like I said, I'm not a professional voice actor.
Yeah.
But do I think it'll hurt or help sales? I don't think it's going to affect sales. That's my thought on it. Is right now the people who were interested in playing Bayonetta before are still going to play it. They don't care. Like they don't care if it's the same actress or not. Like they're, and when I say they, I'm talking about maybe 90% of people who were going to play it.
I think some people are very particular about. I mean, just look at like the whole Chris Pratt thing.
Sure,
like some
maybe.
people are super particular about it.
Some people
are not. It might be just the role. Like if the role has just like the super iconic voice and you replace it and it didn't sound right, I'm sure someone would say something about it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If they were doing a terrible job, then people would be upset that it wasn't the original gal behind it, right? For sure.
Yeah.
People are more than happy to get angry when they see something that's being poorly done, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like people in general, and this is like kind of my observation of humanity as a whole,
Mhm.
is maybe a little cynical sometimes, but I feel like the biggest motivating factor of anybody at this point that I happen to interact with lately in the last 10 years has been apathy. Just
Mm.
I feel like people, it's not that they are malicious or that they don't like this lady or that they don't feel for her position. I think that they just they just don't think about it. They don't want to miss out on playing Bayonetta, or
Yeah.
something like that. That's my experience. It's like the same reason that like I don't think people are going to turn off ad block for like watching YouTube videos. It's I mean, this is something that I've seen, Linus from LTT talk about a time or two.
Mhm.
And I think that, yeah, it's not that they're like, angry or that they like, I think that a lot of people understand that like YouTube is like unsustainable without some sort of income, but they're not going to
Mhm.
pay for YouTube premium. They're not going to turn off ad block. People are used to having, YouTube for free. Right. And
Mhm.
that's just how they are. It's not like good, bad, or indifferent. It's just, they don't care,
Yeah.
And I think that that's a similar situation with this is like,
Mhm.
it feels bad to know that there's like some disagreement going on here, and but I feel like even the people who really feel like on the side of the voice actress, I think they're just not gonna like, they either weren't probably all that likely to buy the game in the first place, because the people who are super hyped about Bayonetta 3 aren't going to miss out on it, because
Yeah.
yeah, they're not going to be like, I'm going to take a moral high ground stance on this, and the few people who do, more power to you.
Mhm.
Legitimately, that's incredible. That you stick to your standards like that, but I just don't think that's the majority of people. I think
They're the
it's
exception, not the rule,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. I think that is incredible to have those standards and to hold yourself to them, and I applaud that. I
Mhm.
just think that is the a drop in the ocean. I mean,
Sounds about right.
sorry. So I'm sorry if that came off cynical. It probably.
No, I mean, but that's I mean, I think that's a realist approach, and in fact, I think that this call for boycott probably just gave them more publicity in a good way.
It's just one more round in the news cycle, right? We're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
like
it again.
yeah, and now more people are gonna buy it now because oh right,
Oh yeah, I
Bayonetta
forgot
3,
about
that was the
Bayonetta.
thing. Oh yeah, let's add that to my cart now.
And that's the thing that
Thank
people
you.
were talking about, how there's like no such thing as bad publicity. Like, sure, there actually is, but for the most part, even unless it's really bad publicity, then
Yeah.
it just becomes a name that you hear more often, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's brand recognition, right?
Mhm. Yeah, this is just like based on her opinion, she was not paid a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And it was just like, okay, well, what's the number? Like, give me some numbers. Like, on if you tell me on average,
She might
lead
have.
role gets paid like 10K, I'm getting 4K. That's
Hmm.
way underpaid. And I saw some citing about like, oh, they made this much money, they can afford to pay me more. Yeah, but you know how many people worked on this game? Like,
Yeah,
and
like
all
it's.
the PR people, all the project manager, all the coders, all the designers. You're like one person. Like
Mhm.
I get it. Like you're important because you played the lead role for English anyways, because there's also the Japanese voice actors,
Mhm.
right? You're one person out of many, many people who needs to get paid on this.
Yeah,
So, citing how much they made on the last game doesn't help your cause. It just makes you look more like a diva,
yeah.
so it's I that's why I was like, okay, well, what's the standard rate? What does $4,000 mean? A day, 1 week, 2 weeks,
Mhm.
1 month, 3 months? What do
It's
you have to
it's
do?
a lot of
Like,
questions, not a whole lot of answers. And I mean, honestly, I think she even put out a video talking about it, and I
there's
wish
a
that I
video,
had
yeah.
watched it, because I don't
I
have any of
was
the
trying to
details.
watch it, but like it was just, for a voice actor, she sure didn't pay a lot of attention to how her
Delivery.
voice was in that.
Oh,
Well, because it was just so like quiet. I couldn't
oh.
hear anything. I guess you're a voice actress, but you don't know anything about like audio,
Hey,
like recording.
audio engineering is a completely
yeah.
different group of skills.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of audio engineers, guess who needs to get paid too, right? You
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, that's my point, right?
Yeah.
It's all these people to make it possible.
Now, in the time we've been talking about this, we got another message here from Duo here. Duo
hello.
Beard says, I would easily work for $100 an hour. Would be nice. I agree.
Would be nice.
I agree.
I would love to work for $100 an hour.
Dude,
I would love to.
You know what? I would work for half that. I would.
With someone
I would work
hire
for
me
half
for
of half that.
Someone please hire me for $100 an hour. Oh,
Please.
OMG, I would love to do that.
All right.
Ugh.
So, all right. We actually did get another chat here, and it's in relation to my little rant, I guess I just went on here. Says from Zema Duvant rather, who says,
Hello.
Hey, I turned off my ad blocker for YouTube. Wish you would stream somewhere else though. Not fond of YouTube personally. Well, I actually do stream on Twitch generally. This is kind of the exception to the rule, and it's funny that you should say that because like the other week or so, somebody left a similar comment on one of my other videos on HitPoint actually, saying that I should stop streaming on Twitch because Twitch is, that's the, it's alienating all of my viewers here on YouTube. And it's like, sometimes there just doesn't feel like a
There's
good
no
solution.
winning strategy.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of, diversify, trying to, have my eggs in more than just one basket, but I totally feel you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Twitch, because we didn't talk about this, Mr. Derek, when are you streaming on Twitch anyway?
Oh, well, when I do stream on Twitch, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting around 6 p.m. Central Time. And right now we're making our way through the Golden Sun, I almost said Golden Axe, Golden Sun series. I know, it's a little different. Playing through Golden Sun, The Lost Age right now. We're about like 27 hours in, give or take, which is pretty impressive for a Game Boy Advance RPG.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, closing in on it.
Hopefully they will do a remaster or remake. Come on, Camelot. You did the website. Come on.
And how about you, Baku? When do you stream?
So funny you asked because I just fixed my PC, I think completely now, and it's not messing up anymore. I know. So excited.
It was a RAM issue, wasn't it? Was it the RAM issue?
It wasn't just the RAM issue.
No.
Even after I fixed the RAM, it was still doing that.
What was it?
I don't know because I nuked the thing. I
just
backed up all my files.
Uh-huh.
I completely wiped everything, reinstalled Windows, kept all my old files in a separate drive now.
Sure.
And then reconnected all my wires. Just pull out all the wires and reconnect all the wires with the same wires, and now it works.
Okay. Weird.
I don't know.
That's not very satisfying, but I'm glad that it's working for you now.
I'm just at a point where I'm like, I just need you to work. I don't care to find out what's causing you to not work. I just need you to work. Well, and it works now. No
I
more
am so
crashes.
glad. I'm so glad that saga has come to a close.
Whew. Yeah.
All
Thankfully.
right, guys.
So I am currently streaming. So Monday, Tuesday are my classes. I'm starting up my masters again. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will be streaming. And actually, after this podcast, I will be streaming a small indie Japanese horror game because it is Spooktober. All this month I'll be playing horror games from the land of the rising sun. We'll be playing some creepy stuff, and we'll also be playing what is it called? Ghostwire Tokyo, I think.
Oh, that could be fun.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
That looks really
it's
good.
going to be pretty good. Yeah. So all kinds of horror games lined up. And then we'll come back to Trails in the Sky 3rd November.
All right, guys. Well, that is about it for us today. But if you liked what you saw or heard, be sure to leave the video or podcast a like or a rating or something on whatever your podcasting platform of choice happens to be. You can also check us out at the links in the description. And I think that's about it for tonight. So Baku, have you got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, just definitely make sure to go and watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Do that and play Trails. What was it? Trails from Zero. There you go.
Yes, for sure.
Do
And check
those
out the
two
video.
things.
Check out
Yeah.
the Trails from Zero video I recently did also, because that'd really be very helpful.
You could get a free copy
That's
because
true.
Fluffy Dog paid for shipping.
Hey, thanks
Hey.
again. All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night, everybody.